Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, 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 welcome. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2. What a what a day. Let's just put it that way. What a day. It started off with Gary Neville calling out Mikel Arteta. Then it continues with a clown show in the first half with us ripping shirts, not scoring 4 on 1, conceding 2 goals, and us being all over the place, to second half where we somehow managed to score, managed to get 2-2, then we get a red card, we sub on 4 left backs, and in the end somehow stink out a 2-2 draw in a game which we arguably should have lost. Let's be real, arguably should have lost. That's a uh, fair assessment. We should have lost arguably that game as well. Sounds about fair. Because that game was a total clown show. I'm not gonna lie, that was a clown show to say the least. Because that was insane. Genuinely insane the way everything folded out in this game, basically. That was utter insaneness. But we're gonna talk about all that. We're gonna laugh, be angry. Gonna do all the stuff we need to do. And yeah, before we get into that, of course, smash the like button if you haven't already. Caress it, destroy it, annihilate it, hammer it the way you do it. Just do it. Helps a lot, helps the algorithm and everything. Big up to all of you. We have reached 500 subscribers. Road to 1K gang begins right here. Hopefully we achieve it much quicker than the 500, because that would be quite fantastic. We are almost a year, basically 5 days off from this channel having its first upload. 16th of May I made my first upload, so it's been almost a year and we have reached 500 subscribers, which is quite phenomenal. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. And yeah, leave your thoughts down in the live chat and we gonna go from there. Big up Luca, big up. I am good. I'm good. I'm feeling better than I did yesterday, I'm not gonna lie. Social recommended, so I drink a lot of whiskey and all this stuff, and I didn't obviously, but somehow I feel much better. Bro is more like a model than a footballer nowadays, and anybody just not gonna need to. And how didn't beat? Yeah, that's the biggest question. How did Liverpool not beat us? Robertson missed the empty net and everything. Jota could have scored. Luckily, it was a foul by Konate because Tierney's back heel actually kept whoever scored the third goal, right, in the final minutes from the corner, kept him on side. So by some weird shape of luck, we actually have gone to Anfield again. So somehow we did a 2-2 draw. Let's be real, second half was actually much better than the first one, without shadow of a doubt. Whatever Mikel Arteta do, big ups to him for that. By the way, this is all for you top Gunnar Arteta haters who think I hate Arteta and everything. And yeah, it was a weird game. I heard that Conte is a shoe, is our new coach. No more, I don't want, yeah. Bro hasn't given Vanjeri any decent minutes lately and he's better than 90% of the squad. Yeah, Vanjeri as well. When he subbed on Zinchenko, you could see Vanjeri in the background and his face didn't look happy at all. His face didn't look happy whatsoever. And the weird part in this is that I kind of get the feeling that the longer Arteta stays here, right, the bigger is a chance that Vanjeri could leave, potentially. I wouldn't be surprised if Vanjeri asks for a loan, asks for getting sold, transfer request or something like that. There are rumors, random rumors, nothing confirmed or yet, that maybe new leads are looking at Vanjeri and stuff like that. And so in some weird instance, I can see Arsenal actually selling him if the right offer comes. That's how bad it is. Then anything big, then his final Champions League penalty, even Cup, Arteta. Yeah, Arteta has to go. Arteta has to go. Big up, coach. Hope you're doing well. How's the weekend been? It's been quite nice. I'm not gonna lie. Besides the illness and everything, which looks like it's getting better right now. Somehow it was a one-day illness, which is kind of weird and kind of shocking. I'm not gonna lie. But otherwise, I'm doing good. How about yourself? Hope you're doing well as well. Because FFT only we are hated to some extent. Big up the chat. Big up Nathan. Rumble Gang. Big up everyone. Big up everyone. Personally, didn't give like. That is the weird thing. I didn't care a lot about this game. At the same time, I still cared about the performance because there is, to some extent, because if we're gonna lose this game, there is a way to lose it, right? So there was hope, and somehow we managed to stink out a draw. We should have lost the game, but we somehow managed to get a draw. As much as I hate Mikel, I have been sad because my team lost the season without my top 3 players. Now I know how it feels to say Mikel tear out, but the game is the game. Yeah, and to be honest, Martinelli in the second half plays striker. He scores a goal. He's better at striker. Who knew? Genuinely, who knew? Oh wait, everyone else but Mikel Arteta knew that. Emery played him at striker. Hasn't played striker pretty much since then, about 10 games max under Mikel Arteta, maybe 15. He puts him at striker today. Oh, shock, we score a goal. Shocking display of things. He looked much, much better through the middle. Arteta, £100 should get... Yeah, why don't you put to... big up Kill Switch. Big up Kill Switch. Congrats to getting to the final, for fuck's sake. I'm kinda very annoyed with that, I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. The game's the game. I don't do watch-alongs because I cannot. Well, I can, per se, right? But with everything that surrounds me, I just cannot. Let's just put it that way. I just cannot, due to circumstances. Skelly has the dog in him. Watch the coach out of him. Yeah, he didn't even clap for the what's its face, for the guard of honor as well. Like, it is what it is. Hell no, we can't lose our next Starboy option. We could. There is a possibility. Big up YouTube census. By the way, back to this comment. Big possibility that if we sacked Arteta and got a new proper manager, big possibility Tierney doesn't leave as well, in my opinion. Big up YouTube census as well. Great fight back by Arsenal. Yeah, from 2-0 down, it was a very decent one to some extent. But down to rampant Liverpool, seriously controlling the second half. We were I'm not proud of the team. I'm proud for the fact that they came back for the second half per se. Still, the performance in the first half, utter disgrace. How can you not score 4 on 1 chance? How do you miss that? How do you miss those? Odegaard takes a shot from outside the box. Alisson makes a phenomenal save, by the way, right? And Merino scores. See what happens when you shoot from outside the box? See what happens? I need more from that. Or from Odegaard in general. Element strike. He's been a striker for the longest time. Arteta has made him a touchline winger, which is never gonna work. Let's be real. Martinelli is most dangerous when he's near central areas in the attack. We saw that in 22-23 season quite very well. Let's be real, and we saw this today as well. I mean, Iron Robot, you should have been put there with when King Khan get injured, dude. The worst part is Havertz is gonna be the striker, isn't he? Arteta, I think, cannot wait. Genuinely cannot wait for him to be back to some extent. Liverpool banter does the whole match, especially the fans. Yeah, they did. 6 red cards, heavy injuries, PJML, bias, little funds from owners. No way Arteta goes. Dude, this is Top Gunner bingo, by the way. These are the prime suspects for Top Gunner bingo if you're playing stuff like that. Excuses why we didn't win the league, why we lost the game, and Arteta shouldn't be sacked. Red cards, disciplinary issue, Arteta's fault. Heavy injuries, not proper bench, wasted 750 million, no rotation, Arteta's fault. PJML bias, that's just bullshit. And little funds from owners, 750 million. It's all utter bullshit. Top Gunner bingo, genuinely. He's still gotta go, he is missing. Yeah, by the way, you see how Killswitch has started to banter as soon as he got to the final and he has a chance on a trophy. Have you noticed that? He has a hop in his step as well. Circus is in Joburg for a... Yeah, in Kenya, yeah, for the fans on which Arsenal come to RSA for pre-season. Oh, yeah, South Africa, yeah, for pre-season. Why always America PR settings? Well, it's usually America. Now they're going to Kenya and everything. Obviously, they're gonna go on pre-season tour to Singapore and all this crap. The Zayev TV definitely will. And everything... We haven't gone to South Africa, sorry. We haven't gone to South Africa ever, and I don't think we will. That's the nuts part. They don't mess about when they attack. We did, yeah. To be honest, they had chances, they just didn't put it. Robertson missed empty net, Jota missed a chance. Lucky that Konate was fouling the defender when they scored the corner. Very lucky on that, because otherwise it would have been a goal. Tierney kept the goal scorer on side. Gakpo or whoever it was. So it's quite nuts. Genuinely. Big up Luca, big up. Go subscribe to Luca Talks Ball. Yes, and I am okay. Hope you're doing well today as well. Spurs, Manu lost, but I don't think they cared. To some extent, they don't. They cannot get much higher, so they kind of have to accept their fate to some extent. But they're still in a cup final. They're still in Europa League cup final, both of them. By the way, speaking on Man United, right? They played West Ham today, right? Lost 2-0 at Old Trafford. It is what it is. Souček, Thomas Souček, right? He has scored 9 goals in Premier League this season. 9 or 10, something like that. From a number 6 spot, first of all. And second of all, he's has scored more goals than our attackers. That's the biggest thing. Because Trossard is on 8. Martinelli is on 8. On 7, sorry, not even on 8. He's on 7. How nuts is that? Oh no, he's on 8. He scored today. Martinelli scored today, so he's on 8 as well. So basically, yeah. How does that even work? Souček has scored more goals than our attack. Any of our attackers. That's the nuts part. In previous seasons, teams eliminated from Champions League fell into Europa League. That did not happen this season for the first time. Yeah, that's true. That explains why United and Spurs are in the Europa League final. True, but let's be real. You can only beat what's in front of you. What you are facing. That's the only teams you can beat. And to some extent, Atletico Bilbao should not be as easy a game as it was for United, but it was, so props to them. Well, Spurs against Bodo Glimt, it is what it is. Let's just put it that way. But at the end of the day, you can only beat what's in front of you. Personally, with Conte, I think we could play some good football. We are not getting Conte. He's going to win the second league, potentially second league in 3 seasons, whilst losing pretty much every single best player he has in the team. In Napoli, losing pretty much every single player they have in their team, like Kvaratskhelia, Osimhen, and players like that. Who gets your vote for Ballon d'Or? Rafinha. Rafinha for me, personally. Dembele will be up there, potentially, definitely. Ballon d'Or is a French thing, so he definitely might be in there. But for me, it has to be Rafinha. They did very little and scored the goals, whilst we had all the ball, all the entries, but 0 attacks. It was... Genuinely, to some extent, I want my 2 hours back. Let's just put it that way. I'm keeping it real. I will be happy if we win the Europe, but we are still miles off the top sides. True. At the same time, think about it this way. You win Europa League, you win a trophy. First things first, what's gonna happen? Expressions and all of you guys, you're gonna troll Arsenal fans because we have won fuck all and you have won a trophy. European trophy, which Arsenal haven't done it on any level for the longest insane amounts of time, for like 50 years? 40, 50 years, something like that. Then add on top of that, you're gonna get instantly into Champions League. Which means more money, more exposure, which means you can get better players. So that, just like for United, it will be like a springboard, for example, in comparison, right? From signing, let's just say, Sesko, or a player like that, to instantly bungee jumping into being contention to sign Osimhen or Gyökeres. That's it's not what you're gonna do, but that's like the comparison thing. Let's just put it that way. Ousmane Dembele, yeah, most for our attack, yeah. Bowen too has more, exactly. For me, for you, Yamal, I totally see that. Big up, Luca. I know you're live, but don't advertise the fact that you are live and everything in other people's live streams, and mine is one of them. I'm just gonna say it as it is. You can say that you have a channel if you want, people can subscribe, but otherwise don't advertise lives or links or stuff like that. Genuinely, I'm gonna, if I have time, definitely I'm gonna go catch you live for 100%. But besides that, okay, cool. Trossard 10 goals, 9 assists, 19 GNL, 10 goals, 6 assists. Give me a sec. So, top scorers. This page is all effed up, so bear with me here. I will find them and then I will show you. So, top goal scorers. 9 goals, Kai Havertz. This is Kai Havertz, right? Kai Havertz is on 9 goals. Next top scorer is Gabriel Martinelli on 8. Martinelli has 8 goals in Premier League. In Premier League. I'm talking about Premier League. In Premier League, Trossard has 8 goals, Martinelli has 8 goals, Havertz has 9. Those are top goal scorers. And yeah, Souček has 9. He has more. Merino 9 goals. I'm talking Premier League. I don't care about all competitions. Don't give a fuck. We are talking about Premier League. Genuinely. Big up Jimmy. Big up Jimmy. Notice that no show guard has 5 goals. In all comps, it is what it is. It doesn't matter too much in that regard. I'm talking Premier League because we're talking about Premier League. Even in all competitions, embarrassing stats. So, same as Saka. He has ruined our attack. Lies, Robo. They said UCL will get us world-class players, but we got Sterling. Yeah, that's true. We got sold the dream. Once we get Champions League, we're gonna get the world-class players. 2 years we are in Champions League, haven't signed one world-class player. We have signed better class players whilst being in Europa League, by the way. We have signed better players whilst being in Europa League than actually being in Champions League. Unless we spend the Champions League funds, Europa Cup just covers the cracks. League is the real quality indicator. Levi and co always misuse funds. That is true. That is definitely true. But at the same time, let's be real. If you get Champions League, that definitely will attract something bigger than you previously intended to attract in terms of players. And it is somewhat painting over cracks, but that should give you some proper foundations, at least partially, to build upon. Especially getting Champions League. That I definitely will tell you much. Because if you waste even this, right, then there is no coming back from you. Because if you stick with what's-its-face, with Ange and everything for next season, and you keep on going like this, you're gonna get relegated at this pace. Let's be real. One good championship side comes up, and you're done. Instantly, pretty much. In that regard, 100%. So, definitely, there are some aspects to look at this, 100%. But for me personally, if the team that wins Europa League are getting into Champions League, they will also play in Super Cup and everything, extra more exposure and everything. So, in my opinion, that definitely will boost the team. Havertz 15 goals and 5 assists in 20 games this attack. Yeah, true. 15 goals in all competitions. He has 9 goals in Premier League. And he's been injured. Imagine, Havertz has 9 goals in Premier League for Arsenal, right? 9 goals. He's our top goal scorer. Sounds comical, but roll with me here. And he's been injured since February. He's been injured for 3 months. And he's still our top goal scorer. And to the matter of fact that we don't have a striker and he's our top goal scorer by February alone is embarrassing in Premier League specifically. And Saka, he had 13, 14 assists in Premier League before he got injured. He comes back after surgery and 3 months, and he is still by a mile the top assister in the team. Like, that just shows how awful we are in attack and how much we have regressed. And I know, I realize that now. The more you put it in, I totally realized it. But I'm more specific on Premier League at the moment because we're talking about Liverpool and Premier League. But even if you look at the stats overall, it's comical. Brennan Johnson has more GA in his super sub, man. Yeah, he's bare GA in Spurs. It's been a horrible Premier League. It is what it is, but you can only beat what's in front of you. And Liverpool have done it. Arsenal haven't. Let's be real. We've got Wash, Sterling, Shapeshifter. Yeah. Getting Champions League will give us world-class players, they say. And we sell Nketiah, Emil Smith-Rowe, 2 attackers, no matter how good they are. But you would think that we would replace them with quality players. We sell Emil Smith-Rowe, we sell Eddie Nketiah, we loan out Fabio Vieira, we get rid of Mika Biereth, by the way. We sell all of them. Chidobe Martin generally just goes away. And everything. And how do we replace them? With Raheem Bloody Sterling. That's what we got. That's what we genuinely got. And yeah, then we have on the bench, we have Butler Oyedeji, who doesn't get a kick of the ball and everything. It's actually embarrassing. Yeah, Merino as well. We buy 2 number 8s in Merino. Well, Merino is a 6 more, but we buy 2 midfielders in Havertz and Merino, as Mikel Arteta says, to end up playing them at striker. Make it make sense. We have spent 250 million on that left 8 spot alone to replace Granit Xhaka, and we still haven't gotten it right as well. Like, insane, insane how misused the funds are in this club. Spurs should sack Ange. He should stick to cricket, dude. I think Ange is gonna get sacked no matter what, whether he wins the Europa League or not. Genuinely, I believe so. But anyways, it's Spurs, so it is what it is. I checked Bro's position and it says CDM, Ceramid, and striker now. Yeah, because he has played half a season at striker since Odegaard pretty much got injured. He has played there, so he has played there for 3+ months. I'm out of energy for this. I am too. Big up boy 10 as well. I am as well out of energy. I am as well. These games are meaningless, basically, in terms of everything, because the league is done. If we know who has won the league, we know the teams that are going down. We basically are playing to basically figure out where we're gonna finish at the end of the season. And at this current stage, finishing second or fourth or third or fifth as well means nothing, because we're gonna get Champions League no matter what. Let's be real. Only difference is few million. That's about it. That's genuinely about it. And based on Top Gooners, who said in the beginning of the season that if Arsenal finish anyone behind any other team that's not Man City, it's sackable offense. We already have done that. If for them finishing second is progress by their definition, we are miles off Liverpool first of all. Second of all, we might not even finish second. So if we don't finish second, he should be goal as well. But now again, the goalposts are starting to move even at more rapid pace by them. For 3 months, nothing. Not even one person in our team has not even double figures. Exactly. In assist, this is about assist department. Bukayo Saka hit that by December. Bukayo Saka hit double assist in Premier League in December. He got injured, had a surgery, was out for 3.5 months, and still nobody has come even close to that. Seriously. Like, this is Arsenal, by the way, we're talking about here. We are not talking about West Ham, no disrespect to West Ham, about West Ham, Crystal Palace, or any other team. We're talking about Arsenal here, by the way. Life is bigger than football. That's why people support teams like Wigan. I still love my team, Arsenal, for life. Unfortunately, we have Joss, but I still always back Gunners. Well, props to you. Big up to you. We sell our whole attack squad depth and we have nothing to replace them. Personally, I think Oyedeji will leave and go on to rivals and come back destroy us, man. That the biggest thing is Oyedeji probably, if we let him go, right, he will go to a championship side. That's my opinion on this, right? He's not going to go to Premier League, he's going to go to championship side. And he probably is going to go to very solid Premier League championship side as well. So there's a big possibility that in season or two, if he hits the ground running, he actually will be up in Premier League at some point. Did you see Forest owner on the pitch calling Nuno out nuts? We need proper owners. Yeah, I saw that. That he came out and pretty much called out Nuno for the last 5-6 results in the league, because they were third and now they're fifth, I think, in the league. Let's look at the Premier League table, just because I'm sick and tired of looking at this crap. Can I see the standings here? These are the standings, basically. Let me move this a bit so you can see better. I know it's covering partial my face of my face cam. I'm gonna move it backwards. So basically, Forest are 7th. They were 3rd. Marianakis came on the pitch after they drew against Liverpool and had some quite heated word exchange with Nuno, right? He called out him. Obviously, at the moment, also Marianakis has came out and said that they were 3rd. They're the first, for the first time in a very long time. They are in Europe again, which he promised when he got the team and they got promoted into Premier League, which he has done right now. And let's not also gloss over the fact that Nottingham Forest are still in a very big contention to get Champions League, right? So they definitely are. Those standards for Nottingham Forest, by the way, a team who nobody gave a chance this season, pretty much. Mid-table at best, by the way. And on top of that, a team who has won Champions League 2 times. Don't forget they have won it 2 times. That's why they have those 2 stars on top of their tree, by the way. Arsenal have none of those. And those are the standards. For Nottingham Forest, when they were third 4 games ago, now they're seventh, and their owner is coming out on the pitch to call out Nuno Espirito Santo for their performances, what they have been seeing. Here is the statement, by the way, he put out. Here is the statement Marianakis put out as well. This is a day for celebration because after 30 years, Nottingham Forest is now guaranteed to be competing at the Europe stage once again. A promise I made to our supporters when we achieved promotion. With 2 more games to go in the Premier League, we must keep believing and keep dreaming. Right to the final kick of the final game, we are extremely proud and close to Nuno and the team, and we must all celebrate the historic achievements of this season. They genuinely are 2 games away from Champions League. Seriously. And Marianakis is doing some proper job there. If Marianakis had Arteta at the wheel, he definitely would be sacking Mikel Arteta. 100%. No questions about that. Let's be real. Meaningless crap games. Why even commenting about this crap? Just sack Arteta. It's not gonna happen. Man, I would say wash Pep. I wouldn't. Pep isn't even washed, is he? Let's be real. Next season he will be back stronger than ever. Never can write him off as well. So go Junior. Yeah, we have lots of talents, and that is a big issue because the longer Mikel Arteta stays here, the bigger chance when Yeri gets screwed up, Skelly gets screwed up, Max Dauman can get screwed up, and everyone else. Forest are 7, but they played better than us the whole season. Yeah, true. They're 7, but they're still in a chance to get Champions League. And nobody expected that from Forest. That's the big thing. Heard Mason Greenwood want to come back to Prem. He can play right wing cam signing. I don't think Arsenal will want to sign that type of a player, if you get what I mean. That's the biggest thing. And I don't think we are signing Mason Greenwood anyways. Although he is a possibility. Same goes for Cherki. Why not sign Cherki, for example? Oh, but he has attitude issues. Well, who cares? Mikel Arteta needs to deal with this crap. We need some good... Wish we had Marianakis as an owner. I wish we had an owner with a backbone, because I could never imagine in my life Stan or Josh Kroenke walking out to the pitch to confront Mikel Arteta like that. Never in a million years. Ever. Anyways, some news regarding Arsenal, because this Liverpool game, it is what it is. Apparently, reticence about spending has played into frustrations around Arsenal. However, their firm stance is that they do not just want to be at the limit of PSR. That's not how we go about things. One source inside the club said, while senior figures talk of wanting to be good citizens in a manner that benefits their establishment status. Others have barely quipped about rivals who are barely compliant with the PSR rules but don't care. And this is something that really annoys me with Arsenal. Because every single team that has big owners, right, they basically play the jump rope with the PSR and FFP rules and pretty much never get punished. Let's be real. Man City has charges, 115 and all this crap. Doesn't matter. Nothing's gonna happen there, right? On the last time they got hit with something was Chelsea when they got the ban, right? But otherwise, nothing. Leicester got fined or something like that, or Everton got fined. Besides that, nothing has happened. They always find a way out. City have found the loopholes, Chelsea have found loopholes, Newcastle have found loopholes, everyone finds a loophole. Yet Arsenal stick to these three letters, PSR and FFP, like it's their holy Bible. Always. Like, for a change, can you grow a pair of balls and actually do something properly? Genuinely. Do something. Take a risk. Take a gamble for a change. Personally, wouldn't give a F if we can finish second or third. I don't care as well. Give chances to the proper players. Last game against Southampton, I'll play all academy players. That's the worst part. Arteta wants to secure second place so desperately he's gonna play their best 11. And then, if we cannot get the result against Southampton, oh bloody hell, all the wheels gonna come off. Napoli have agreed a deal with Jonathan David from Lille on a free market opportunity. Meanwhile, we are giving Trossard a new deal. Nah, Berta was not a PR move. You sound like a top gunner right now to some extent. Berta was not a PR move. Berta doesn't want Davies as well. I don't think Arsenal have never been actually properly in for Davies. Fabrizio Romano has tweeted out about 65,000 tweets about Davies. He's been trying to sell him to a different club for the last 5-6 years, if I'm not mistaken, as well, or something like that, and it has never happened. He finally is gonna get his move. If you think that Berta is a PR move, you need to get a hold of yourself. When last did we buy a player and club doesn't want to sell? We can't bully anyone. Never. Arsenal. Remember the famous quote from Mikel Arteta or Edu who said this? It was about 3 years ago. We buy players that everyone wants, right? And now we want to sell them and nobody wants them. This is going well, isn't it, for Arsenal? Very, very well for Arsenal. Like, genuinely. What book the Iceman, man, he would be bangers, super sub striker, sub like Sorloth. Dude, Sorloth, yes, today, yeah. He scored a hat-trick in 4 minutes. He scored 4 goals in 26 minutes. He scored 4 goals in 26 minutes. Hat-trick in 4. Market opportunity. A comeback to be proud of. Big up TK, big up. The comeback to be proud of, dude. Don't get me laugh. Don't make me laugh. Somebody tell Tim Lewis to give up or go to Turkey. Yeah, just sell everyone. My point is that he always reacts whenever preoccupied. Berta won't change much, to be honest. He will. He will. Trust me, he will. And if you think that Zubimendi is Berta signing, he's not. Berta signing was when Edu was here. That Zubimendi deal pretty much was done and dusted to some extent. I strongly believe so. Because that was Edu and Eto's narrative to sign him. And also I'm a firm believer that basically Berta for this season will sign some big players, but also some mediocre or some semi-standard players, just to give enough rope for Mikel Arteta. And we all know, just gonna give enough rope to hang himself. Because we're gonna sign the players, and when Arteta comes up short once again, then Arteta will be gone. And by that time there will be genuinely there will be already lineups for next manager and everything. Berta could have cancelled the deal if he had balls. Dude, don't do this. Genuinely don't do this. Damn man, bro, stupid as hell. Berta PR move. Dude, has been silently tearing up La Liga, 17 goals from a super sub striker. Yeah, he's tall, he's like 6'4", he's strong, he's a good finisher and everything. Okay, don't get rude, don't be rude. Genuinely don't be rude. Coach is a nice person, don't be rude. He has his own opinions on Berta and everything. He just how to say this? He's more of a top gunner than Arteta out guy for now. Still, until he sees the light. Still, we don't just gonna sign striker. We gotta sign at least 2 of main and super sub. We definitely need to sign 2 strikers. For example, sign Gyökeres and Liam Delap to be a backup. We definitely need to sign 2. But with Jesus still being here, because he's not going, we are not going to rip up his contract. With Havertz still being here, it's not going to happen. And to be honest, for the fact, what's going to happen with Havertz for me is the biggest mystery. Because I'm starting to believe that we actually might not sign a striker at all. To some extent, we might sign Sesko and Havertz will be a main striker and Sesko is going to be a backup. Like, it's very weird that I get that we are linked with Gyökeres and all this hype and all this stuff is surrounding him. But kinda, it also gives me the vibe that we are not gonna sign a striker because Arteta still wants to play Havertz as striker. And we have been saying this for the longest time, that signing Kai Havertz basically will be the sword Arteta is gonna die on. It's just a matter of time. So we'll see. But for me personally, if we get about 200 million or 250 million to spend this summer, rip up contract for Havertz, rip up contract for Mikel Arteta, sign a new manager and sign a striker and then go from there. I low-key forgot Jesus still played for us. Dude, same goes for Tomiyasu and all these players because they never play pretty much at all for us. Now, I'm gonna pause this. See, this is the big issue here. According to Ben Jacobs, right? According to Ben Jacobs, Arsenal are exploring a move for a new left back. I'm all good for that. I'm genuinely all good for that. But under one specific condition. If that means Skelly goes into midfield. For all I care, he can come in the mid. He can play as a midfielder, and he can be a backup when left back is needed. If we sign a proper left back, I'm all for that. However, if we sign a left back and Skelly is still the main guy and he remains there, I'm totally and utterly against it in that regard. I don't want to see this. Don't want to see this at all. Bro is good, not gonna lie, but always injured. Yeah, bro injured all the. Yeah, we are. Apparently, we are in for a left back. Who knows? I support Arsenal, not Mikel. I don't understand the supporting world 18 years deep. I still think we need Simeone. I'm a top gooner. I'm not saying you're a top gooner per se, but I think how to say this now? Everyone has their views on certain things, and obviously we are not gonna agree on everything, but to many extents, claiming that that signing Andrea Berta is only a PR move is quite preposterous. Because if you are 12 years under Simeone and you have seen what he has done and what of a madman Simeone is, and you think that that guy would leave that club for Arsenal without certain guarantees over the future and without certain clauses in his contract and agreements surrounding him signing for Arsenal, it is quite wrong in my opinion. Let's just say it that way. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure on Berta's shoulders, and I also believe that this first transfer window, summer window specifically under Andrea Berta, won't be the window people want to see. More specifically because the club is building the team for the time when Mikel Arteta goes. Because I kind of it's like something from America, from the franchises like NBA and NFL, NHL, and all these things get run. If you want to become the best, first things first, what you do is fire your general manager or sporting director. You sign one of the best ones in business. We have done that. Then he works with the main coach, with the main manager, right? A main coach, i.e. Mikel Arteta, see what sticks. And sooner rather than later, he also is gone. And I think that is going to be same here. I just hope it's sooner rather than later. I heard Skelly going into midfield. I heard and I hope for that as well. If we sign a left back and Skelly goes in midfield, I'm all for it. Whatever we do, it won't be enough. That is the biggest thing. Whatever we do, it won't be enough as long as Mikel Arteta stays here, in my opinion. Because it doesn't matter who we sign, because Mikel Arteta will make them play the way he wants them to play. And Mikel Arteta could have prime Messi, prime CR7, prime R9, prime Ronaldinho in their team, in his team, and he still would make Ronaldinho play left wing back, Ronaldo track back as a CDM, Messi track back and cover Ben White. And that is never, ever, ever gonna work in a million years. Big up comp, big up. I would sign Simeone Inzaghi or Zidane as a manager and Gyökeres, Mateta as strikers. Plus we need more quality players. Big up, and I totally understand that. And that will be quite fantastic window as well if you ask me. Imagine we sack Arteta, we get Simeone Inzaghi. He plays 3-5-2. He needs two strikers. So for example, for the second target, Martinelli and Gyökeres, right? Then we can bring on Mateta off the bench. For me, that sounds like a perfect plan. We have left wing backs, right wing backs in Calafiori and Simba. We can play three center backs as well. If you want with Gabriel, Saliba and Calafiori, then you need a left back. We can sign that if we need one. It's absolutely phenomenally easy. The question is, will the board and the ownership do something like that? Obviously, we are just speculating here, talking of what if imaginary scenarios, but it makes a lot of sense given the team that we have, that for example we play 5 at the back or 3 at the back, how you look at it depends, right? We could work perfectly into that because the team is built for that. The same as our team is built for attacking, not defending. And we still persist to play like we parked the bus under Sean Dyche. Simeone could take us to the next level though. Coach is right. Exactly, yeah, coach is definitely right about that, 100%. Mateta is great, but I don't think Berta will go for him. Berta is not going to go for Mateta. Personally, I don't think so. Especially if they want 60, 70 million, something stupid like that. For me, could be very good, like we signed Gyökeres and Liam Delap. Delap would be the backup, Gyökeres main striker. For me, that sounds like a very good idea, personally. Because Gyökeres is about 70 million euros, and Delap would be around... Delap has 30 million release clauses since Ipswich are getting relegated. He has 30 million release clauses, plus he wants about 100 grand a week. I think that is actually quite proper. Would second wash the month wouldn't make even Prime Maldini? Yeah, definitely. Exactly. Personally, Arteta should have never been appointed Arsenal coach. We were too scared to find good coach and just went... Exactly, that's the case. We signed a player who was familiar. Job for the boys, if that makes sense. Job for the boys. Would you take Fabregas, Alonso, Areola? Who is Areola? That's the goalkeeper, right? From West Ham. Or you mean Ireola from Bournemouth? Or those are lateral moves? I don't want Fabregas, first of all. Yes, he has promoted Como into Serie A. He's going to finish between 10th and 12th this season. Great season. Not good enough. Alonso has already signed with Real Madrid, so that's off the table. Ancelotti is free, so hey. On Ireola from Bournemouth, no. At the moment, definitely not. We need more old boys in the setup up Thierry and... For me personally, that's the biggest thing. I'm not a big fan of ex-players becoming coaches in the team they are legends for, unless you are a top manager. For example, if Pep Guardiola was the legend of Arsenal and he was the manager he is today, I would understand it. But given the fact that we don't have such a top quality manager who also is a legend at Arsenal, I wouldn't take any of those. Not Thierry Henry, not what's-its-face, not Patrick Vieira, not Cesc Fabregas, none of them. They haven't proven themselves at all, in my opinion, that they are winning consistent trophies, that they know what they're doing. Patrick Vieira has had about 5 jobs now, and he hasn't succeeded much in any of those. He has had some great moments, he has had great half seasons, but to retain and remain in the same level for the whole season, he has not. We saw what happened at Palace, we saw what happened at Nice, we saw what happened in MLS, with New York FC, if I'm not mistaken, and we saw what's happening at Genoa as well. Same goes for Thierry Henry. And we saw what happened at Belgium, we saw what happened at France in Olympics, I think it was. He got to finals, yes, great, but also he struggled to get to those finals. Fabregas is cooking, but definitely not. For Arsenal, no. Big up G-Star, big up my guy, hope you're doing well. Odegaard at least started shooting. Yeah, he took 2 shots and both were dangerous shots. And one of the shots resulted in a goal. Not direct goal, but Merino took up the scraps. Big up. That's what happens when you shoot. Shocking display of things. The reason why I said old boys, we have very weak mentality. I remember Dini saying we got no balls. We don't. Henri Fabregas not as managers, but coach, technical directors, ambassadors. Something like that, yeah, I totally get that. Something like that, definitely. But that, ultimately, the mentality comes from the players you sign who have won stuff, and we have almost no players with mentality in the team. Jesus and Zinchenko don't make me laugh. Havertz, let's be real. So basically, manager as well, bang average player. So that kind of goes in that regard as well. We need manager who has the mentality, who can sign players who are some of the best in the business. Because some of those players who are best in the business have attitudes. They have their swag. And you need a manager who can handle that. If we sign one of those players right now, let's be real, Arteta is not going to handle him. We saw what happened with Aubameyang, Lacazette, Guendouzi, Pepe. We saw what happened with all of those guys. Ozil. Odegaard shooting when pressure is off. Yeah, that's genuinely the mad part. United crying right now, bro. So freaking obsessed with Arsenal. It's always like that. I'm not saying Havertz is bad, but he doesn't have that mentality. Still. Like, he might have the mentality, but he doesn't have the ability to back it up. Let's just put it that way. Took 10 years for Wenger to come watch a game, and that was because it was in Paris. Says a lot, to be honest. Wenger is what, 75, something like that. He has his job in FIFA and everything, so he's also a very, very, very busy man. Let's just put it that way. But also, Wenger said himself, he doesn't want to coach afterwards. He doesn't want to do anything with that. Havertz, well, I'm not getting into Havertz talk anymore. He's injured, let's wait till next season. Nico Williams, nobody cares. Saka, new long-term deal potentially on the cards. Bert apparently is very excited to sign him. Max Dauman, here we go. Max Dauman, this is for Marlon to basically get excited. Pause. Mikel Arteta is confident that Max Dauman, 15, can provide attacking midfield depth in the future. Here we go, we are not signing an Odegaard replacement, first of all. Dauman is expected to go on the Arsenal Asia pre-season tour with a view to being part of the first team squad next season. So what, he's gonna sit on the bench? Just like Yeri is doing right now and did before? Just like Skelly did before and is doing... And is he just playing because we have no better options there? Like, come on, give over. Seriously, what the actual fuck is that? Klopp is never gonna coach Arsenal. Klopp said himself, he's never gonna coach another team besides Liverpool in Premier League. How many goals do you think Havertz will score next season? I have no idea. Genuinely. Klopp would be great with this team, to be honest. No argument about that. But he's not gonna coach us. Too soon for Dauman? Yes, it is too soon. The biggest thing about Dauman is that he is way too good to play for under 16s and under 18s. We can put him in under 21s and see how he does there, of course. But for no, definitely not. Field hockey player, man. Big up now. Big up Ranvir, big up. I think our players just need to show up for our issues, and we need to show more confidence because of the hate we are getting online. It's not mostly, it's partially about that, but it comes from the manager, the statements he's making and everything. It comes also from there, and it's definitely not a good look for Arsenal. 17-18, we are signing a striker. We need someone better than no-show guard. We are not gonna sign one. Odegaard is staying. He's the love child of Mikel Arteta, so let's be real, adopted child, sorry. This is the levels, by the way. This was the levels of Arsenal fans before the game. This is what they were actually excited about. Not the fact that we have lost the league, lost the Champions League, we are trophyless once again, wasted money, you awful manager currently on a very bad form. Look what they're focusing on. Which chant were Liverpool gonna use for Zubimendi should transfer across quite nicely. They were preparing to sing that at Anfield. This is what they're worried about. Not the performances, not the player issues, not the manager, not the board, not the money, not the squad depth, but they want the chant for Zubimendi to basically get annoyed, to annoy basically Liverpool fans. Like, this just shows how far gone this fan base is and why we are in such deep shit. If Dauman walks in the under-21s next season, then by all means. Exactly, I'll be one telling people he needs to play now. Before that point though, I think everyone should calm down. Exactly. Because Dauman has been phenomenal in under 16s, he plays for under 18s, and he still plays better than pretty much everyone there. So under 21s is the next move. If he can ball out the same level as he did in under 18s and under 16s, yeah, then by all means, put him in the main squad. This bullshit now, Shogun is nothing. Lots of spotlight on Dauman, lad, and he hasn't done anything. Exactly, that's the same as Chidobe Martin, and he fucked off. Eddie Nketiah in under 21s beat Alan Shearer's record. And he did what for Arsenal? Almost nothing, let's be real. Like, there's lots of hype for many. Charlie Patino, he was the next Ramsey or something like that. He plays in Spanish 2nd division now and holds the bench half the time. Like, there are lots of these guys which we have put a lot of pressure on. Give them time. I want to change the formation going into next season. Same. I want as well. I want us playing again 3 at the back. Only formation which we had any success with. But we won the trophy and we have never went back to that formation yet. We usually play 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 depending on how it shifts during the games predominantly, and maybe 5 at the back when we defend. But to start right out with, let's just say, a different formation, we have never done that anymore. Kabia, we all... kill Rice. Sell Odegaard, go get Simmons or Wirtz, or fuck it, get Kimmich or something. Get Wirtz, but Wirtz is going to Bayern Munich apparently. I do believe it's not entirely the manager's fault, but top hierarchy not backing him when he should have been is an actual... Not backing him? You want to tell me that spending $750 million is not backing him? It's his fault that he has spunked it down the wind in such fashion that we barely can stick up a proper 11. And we have no subs pretty much. Our players are subpar on Champions League world-class wages when at best their best thing is, their best qualities are mid-table championship level. Nketiah only scored 1 league goal this season. At least he's an FA Cup final though. Imagine he lifts that trophy. No more 43 and fucking trash more. I don't want that inverted crap to see whatsoever next season. If we go back to that once again, we are dusted instantly. Even Pep doesn't invert as much anymore, by the way. Let's be real. The 43 is a long trash because Arteta won't get the players right. For it after years of trying. Exactly, that's also the thing. He buys players to fit his system. He doesn't buy players and adjust the system to fit the players. He does it the other way around, which already is a recipe for disaster. If Wenger got 750 million to build a 43, he'd have won the league. Oh, 100%. Personally, 4-2-3-1 with Rice and CDM with Partey or someone we sign 1 year in can. Could work, definitely could work, but we are not going to do that. We have done it before, and it has gotten us some mediocre success in the league when we played that, but we predominantly play 4-3-3, let's be real. And then we change in game. Wish just released a statement about money and wages and how his mom paid him 150 a month, so his Bayern move is beyond money. That's what players suck if we persist with Odegaard. And Saka would be Saka would be insane under Wenger. Ranieri would be nuts under Wenger and everything. Oh, by the way, this is what apparently Zubimendi said in an interview. Listen and tell me if this sounds familiar from some special one. At Sociedad, I learned the power of narratives and journeys in football. I chose Arsenal to continue these, embracing the journey over just success, and hope to add to their story regardless of what we achieve. Does that sound familiar to anyone in this chat, in anyone who is watching this stream right now? By the way, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Just get Saka, real striker, it changes. Yeah, definitely. Arteta really read poetry to Zubimendi. Genuinely, it sounds like Mikel Arteta. Bro is he is low-key roasting us. At the same time, he sounds like Mikel Arteta. Journey guys, success guys, add to the story, achievements, and all these guys. And all, like, it genuinely sounds partially like Mikel Arteta wrote this, not gonna lie. Anyways, on to bigger news. Declan Rice, he didn't play today. If you were wondering why, it's because he's injured. First of all. Second of all, Mikel Arteta confirmed that he didn't even train yesterday, which means he is so injured that he played with a massive injury against PSG as well. It also means that he is screwed to some level, and it's not looking too good, is it? Our midfield against Newcastle is gonna be rough because Merino cannot play with the red card, Jorginho is out, Declan Rice is out, so I don't know Zinchenko in the midfield. Our midfield is gonna get ran over like steam. Our midfield is gonna get steamrolled by Newcastle. They already did it when we had Partey and Rice. Now we don't have Rice. They're gonna just annihilate us. Yeah, only Arteta would do this. He played him through injury 100%. Well, Rice even now got injured. Arteta has to find a new way to play now. Exactly. We could. Shit, man. Does this mean we don't have Rice for? Yeah, we don't. Apparently, we don't. And obviously, Merino that can't play. As awful he's in the midfield, he cannot play because he got a red card. So the midfield most likely is gonna be Partey, Zinchenko, Odegaard. That sounds like a very strong midfield against Tonali, Guimaraes, and players like that. Sounds like a very, very, very nice midfield, doesn't it? Another nice boy. Wouldn't let my daughter date these guys, and if I had fight any of our players, I wouldn't be scared. We need some dogs, exactly. But Arteta has gotten rid of all of the dogs by design early in his coaching steps. He got rid of all of them. Only dog we have arguably in the team, to some extent, is Miles Lewis-Skelly, and that's gonna get coached out of him very quickly if that doesn't keep up. Both Rice and Merino are missing for the that's the biggest thing. Yeah, Newcastle will. This is gonna be the moment that Arteta plays Ranieri and Odegaard together, or he plays MLS in the midfield. Or he's gonna play Zinchenko in the midfield. That is the other option. By the way, speaking on Zinchenko, we played today's game with 4 left backs on the pitch. we had 4 left backs on the pitch. Zinchenko, Skelly, Tierney, who was at right back, and Calafiori. We played today's game with 4 left backs on the pitch. Holy crap, our squad depth is fantastic. We finally play 5-2-4. First of all, that formation is flawed. You're cheating the system. That's 11 players on the pitch, by the way. Just saying. Imagine fighting Odegaard, just sneeze and he'll run. To be honest, if you would sneeze, he would take the snot and rub in his hair, though. Left back FC, yeah, left back FC all over the place. Now, what else is there? Here we go. Mikel Arteta said this before the game. Mikel Arteta for sure, the Champions League have been an issue, but in the Premier League done step backwards. Oh, here we go. In Premier League, we've done a step backwards. With the points that we have created, it's clear that we haven't done as good as last season. That's obvious. Well, no shit, Sherlock. It's your fault, innit? Mikel Arteta. Declan Rice and Jurrien Timber are not fit. Declan couldn't even train, so he's injured, unfortunately, and couldn't make the game. KT is leaving, Zinchenko should leave, Kivior should leave, Tomiyasu. There are lots of players that should leave. Big up BBK Sports. Go subscribe to this guy, top guy. He does a lot of different content. NBA, Arsenal, football in general. I think I've seen boxing, but I might be mixing up the streams as well. Whoa, big whoa, Arteta, no bullshit. Yeah, for a change. Yeah, big up people. Smash the like button and subscribe. Hell must have from maybe. Injuriasu, get out, Zini. We need lots of them to out, to be honest. We talked about Marianakis. Here we go. Who enjoyed this today? Seriously, who enjoyed this today? Who enjoyed this today? That was in the stands at Anfield, by the way. Who enjoyed this tifo today? That was actually kinda insane. That is actually kinda insane. John Cena, you bastard, had to cheat to beat the wiper. Well, it is what it is. What music do you listen to? Got a clutch on something after an average season. Zinni cries when we score. Hello, Magalash, the only guy that I'd have a problem smacking. To be honest, that's true. I listen to electronic dance music, so I listen to trance, progressive, house, electro. Basically your usuals: Armin van Buuren, Hardwell, old school Chesto, Martin Garrix, Maddox, that's techno, K's, and all these guys. Hardwell on air, Nicky Romero, Afrojack, and everyone. Yeah, that's actually insane tifo. Actually insane tifo, to say the least, what Liverpool fans put up there. Oh, Martinelli won man of the match. Marvelous Martinelli, you know. Woo wee. Anyways, moving swiftly on. Wait. Moving swiftly on. Here we go. Yeah. I have a playlist on Spotify specifically made with over like 1,200 songs or something like that. Purely to what I listen to at work, at home, gym, and all this stuff. Yeah, I have 1,100 songs. Hardwell, Julian Kaler, the David Guetta, old school David Guetta, Dash Berlin, Mark Sixma, everyone, Fidel Grand. Pick your poison, basically. Should have put him in a ballerina and... Look at this. This is from the game. I might get done for copyright, so bear with me here. So it is what it is. This is from the game, right? This is from the game. This, right? Look at this. Odegaard has the ball top right corner, right? He has loads of space. And look what Martinelli is doing. Martinelli is running into space. In this space, he is number 11 between Van Dijk and Bradley. Bradley has no chance in catching him. Van Dijk is looking to Narnia. Trent is whatever he's doing there. Odegaard has the ball on his strong foot top right corner still. He has a clear path to chip the ball, scoop it in the runway, and Martinelli is one-on-one with the keeper here. Look what he does. He runs, Martinelli is screaming to pass him the ball, and look, Odegaard passes it to Thomas Partey, and apologizes to Martinelli, and the run is done. Partey then, he has a chance to unleash the ball, but the place where he can unleash the ball is gone. Instantly. Genuinely. And it's gone. There you go. This is for coach. This is for coach. But yeah, big up Kendrick, Chris Brown, Travis, yeah. Is Odegaard gonna play the ball? No, he's not. Nelly sent Bradley back to England. Virgil Maguire better than Gabriel. Odegaard is not a playmaker. He's not. You saw what happened there. He didn't even pass the ball. Martinelli makes an ideal run right here, between the lines. Nobody's covering him. Bradley, he's gonna outpace him. Odegaard scooped the ball over the heads with his left foot. Instead, he just passes to Partey and apologizes to Martinelli. Martinelli probably is standing there thinking, what a prick. Have you heard about Amapiano music from South Africa? Yamal? Been vibing to it with the soul. Meanwhile, we got players that eat noodles, no swag. I haven't. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't. I haven't heard, by the way. Big up AFC always. Big up. Big up. What we have done all season is nowhere near the level. No chance in hell. Big up, big up, big up. Thank you. Big up. I'm a piano making waves across the world, and it looks that way. I haven't heard it. Gonna listen it to after the stream a bit later in the evening. Anyways, moving on. This is Mikel Arteta's interview. Obviously, I won't play it because everything, but Mikel Arteta. This was where this was after match interview where he got called out on everything, and he genuinely was scrambling and he was all over the place. He got asked some proper questions by proper interviewers, and he genuinely lost his cool, almost left. Anyways, in some other news. You ready for this, guys? Ready, guys, for this, guys? Arsenal have offered Chelsea 1.25 million for England under 18 goalkeeper. Another goalkeeper. Freddy Bernal. Chelsea rejected the bid, clear on their position as they want to keep Bernal. Several other clubs remain interested. Why the hell we are in for another goalkeeper? As if signing Nygaard, Setford, having Porter, Rojas, and someone else like the fifth one, whoever is in the youth system, is not enough. Seriously. And Okonkwo, by the way. That guy as well. Robo even sang a piano. I'm a piano, best thing right now. Even Bundesliga playing it at games, but guess it's because most leagues have majority Africa playing. Could be. Unfortunately, I haven't heard it. Genuinely haven't heard it. But yeah, Arsenal are going in for another goalkeeper. We are doing this, guys. Martin Oshogard is a mall, but football have like 5 goalkeepers in the academy already. It's insane. How many goalkeepers do you need in general in the system? You have about 11 or 12 right now. That is actually kind of insane if you ask me. Oh, Napoli, Genoa 1-1. Vieira is drawing with Napoli for now. I don't want any players from Chelsea, to be honest, same. That player is from Chelsea. If we sign him, I riot. Alexi Rojas, Tommy Setford, Nygaard we signed for under 16s. We have Porter, of course, who played in the Carabao Cup or whatever it was. Of course, we have Karl Hein in Valladolid, and we have another one youngster. I will riot by that myself. Who wins Europe, Africa, South America All-Star game? You would think that Europe is gonna win it, but I'm not so sure. Napoli low-key farming Serie A. To be honest, they have sold Kvaratskhelia, gotten rid of Osimhen, they get rid of their best players, and they still somehow manage to be up top there and not pretty much win it. If they win this season, it's gonna be their second win in the league in 3 years. That's how nuts it is. That's how nuts it is, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, anything else we can quickly touch upon? Oh, here we go. Mikel Arteta on Arsenal's draw to Liverpool. I hate reaction. Well, based on your substitutions, when you never make them first, only at 85th minute, when the other team has made 4 substitutions already, we see that, you dumbass. I love action. Well, we don't see that from you whatsoever, beside doing YMCA on the sidelines and landing airplanes and helicopters, or like flinging away mosquitoes and all this jazz. Okay, I'm not gonna read that part, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna read that part, but hey, it is what it is, I guess. And they're still owning. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Not owning. Inter is very close, especially if they draw today. If Napoli still draw today, Juventus needs something to change. AC Milan have a massive drop off. Good move for David if he goes to Napoli. Yeah, massive move for David. Definitely massive. I think Napoli is already. They have Lukaku. Imagine they are winning the league with Lukaku potentially. But I'm saying potentially too much, am I? But David's a secondary option, very good. Even as a first option in Serie A, he will bang. And they're preparing to sell Osimhen, so good for them. Man, Arteta probably got pissed when they said that to the Mikel Barellina. Said, yeah, 100%. 100%. I'm not gonna play this, but basically, Peter Schmeichel, if you haven't already, go watch this clip. He has called out Mikel Arteta on all the crap he has pulled over 5 years. Genuinely. Arteta is a control freak. How comes everyone can see it besides our board? That's what amazes me the most. That's what Peter Schmeichel said. Gary Neville before the game said that it's incredible that... where is it? I'm gonna... Where is Neville? He said it, Here we go. Gary Neville. It's a great achievement to not win a trophy in 5 years and still be the manager of a Premier League team. Imagine even Gary Neville is calling out Arsenal and Mikel Arteta. Even calling out Mikel Arteta. Gary Neville, Peter Schmeichel, they all are calling out Mikel Arteta. Imagine the scenes on that. Like, that's actually insane. Man, if Spurs win Europa, Expressions finally make a Spurs... Oh, dude, it's gonna be a hit song on Spotify. Mentality is what I allude to earlier. Pierre has that aura. Don't listen to Neville to be... Yeah, I don't listen to Neville as well. But the things he said today about the 5 years still being a manager with no trophies, especially at Arsenal, that's absolute fact. That's something I agree with him upon 100%. And what Peter Schmeichel said, absolutely agree upon. What Petit says, I agree. Lehmann to some extent. Robert Pires as well. Thierry Henry as well. They have the aura, they know what to say and how to say. When they speak, you better goddamn listen, let's be real. And they speak nothing but stone cold facts most of the time. So, it is what it is, I guess, in that regard. Rooney said he'd swap United season for Arsenal's. Well, to be honest, I think many would. Many United fans would. At the same time, United can win a trophy, so... Go figure, they can win Europa League and they can genuinely springboard themselves into Champions League. And if they do that, United already has pulled, despite finishing 17th or 15th, wherever they're going to finish. They still will attract big players. And to add on top of that, if they get Champions League money and all this stuff, it will springboard them instantly. Maybe not top 6 in the next season, but top 10 100%. What the hell going on with Leverkusen though? They're losing. Yeah, they lost Dortmund 4-1 today. Alonso going, definitely it was that. And it was expected to have a drop-off as well. But he's going to go to Real Madrid, see what he does there. Weak Europa or Arsenal's. Europa League is weak with no UCL teams dropping in. Well, that is true. Obviously, it's something everyone talks about. Hence, everyone's just saying it's not serious. At the same time, you only can beat what's in front of you. And if we were, let's just say, in Europa League, and we got that like to a final, like, it is what it is. It's still a chance to win a trophy. It's still to make a statement in Europe and to get in the Champions League and everything. And the winner also gets in the Super Cup and everything. So there's lots of things going into it at the same time. We could have won something and silenced the haters and make them cry. Well, go figure. Genuinely go figure. We were in Europa League. We were into the final. We balled the final. It is what it is against Chelsea. But hey. See, 2-1 Napoli. Napoli have scored. 2-1 Napoli. Napoli have scored. Where is it? Vaffa Napoli. Napoli have scored. Let's check this quickly before I go. Raspadori scored. Lukaku scored and Raspadori scored. Oh well, look at this. McTominay with 2 assists in today's game for Napoli. Genuinely, Conte has made Billing and McTominay play like they're like prime Lothar Matthäus's or something like that. Give us Europa League semi-final versus Bodo Glimt. Like, you would say that, right? And then we would crash out of Europa League. That is one of the biggest things. Someone told this me a few days ago on the stream that PSG walks Europa League with their eyes closed. Right? There's no argument about that, given how they play and everything. Can Arsenal walk the Europa League with their eyes closed? Like, I'm not so sure. Genuinely not so sure. That's the biggest issue here. Never, if we were in Europa right now, we would win it. You would think so. You genuinely would think so. At the same time, it's Arsenal. That's the biggest thing. Always manage to shoot ourselves in the foot somehow. But yeah, I think on that note, we're gonna end today. Because I need to go, need to have a shower and everything, need to prepare for tomorrow. New week tomorrow. New week tomorrow. Yeah, mentality, one of the biggest aspects. One of the biggest aspects. Personally, I see some people saying Arteta should get sacked because he's done nothing but make the club go trophyless. And he has no vision. Well, Arteta has done some good things, but the biggest thing is, the longer he stays here and he remains with these quotes in interviews and he remains trophyless, the more he tarnishes the things he has done before. And at some point, the bad will outweigh the good, and it's already more or less outweighing it. And that is the biggest problem. And again, it's in Arsenal's DNA to do things only when shit hits the fan, and it's like, I would say, a year or two too late. That's how we do with players. We get rid of them 2 years too late. We get rid of managers 2 years too late. I mean Wenger in this regard, although that was a bit longer, it is what it is. But we always identify and deal with issues too late. And it's usually a substantial amount of too late when it has affected the whole team, whole squad, whole establishment, not just one single part of it. And that is one of the biggest issues. But yeah, big up to everyone. Big up to Coach, Marlon, Social Joints, Boyton, everyone who dropped by. And I'm gonna head off now. I'm gonna head off. I'm gonna see you all tomorrow. Hopefully, feel better tomorrow as well. Hope everyone's had a fantastic day. Everyone's feeling great. Have a nice evening. Have a nice day tomorrow. New week starting, so we'll see how that goes. So we'll see. We'll see. Thank you all for dropping by. Like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new around here. Road to 1K begins right now. Take care and leave your comments down if you're watching this a playback below. Have a nice evening and see you all tomorrow. Bless up everyone.